episode 11 of, I was about to say Ankama. What is this? What is this show called? Wakfu. There we go. Season 4. I mean, I remember liking the previous episode, so I don't really remember what happened. Was the last episode when Hugo finally... I know it's when Hugo kind of like transformed into his like older self, right? And I thought that Oropo was his older self, but it seems to be that maybe Oropo was something completely different. And then Kilby saved him, and Kilby returned to his egg. Basically, Kilby died. And it's back to his egg. Which made me sad because Kilby was probably one of my favorites in this season. Oh yeah, this storyline exists. Like with the money I stole. They're really showing that, you know what? A lot of good stuff. Oh, the orphans. I mean, I will say, I don't think this storyline should be in this season. Are we going to see Raoul comes? Oh yeah, there he is. All the destitutes. Are they gonna be like, his heart grew? But I do think, Raoul, that you probably should get away from her. Like, you two are not fit for each other. Even if you can recognize that, she did good stuff. You should not be together at all. She's just gonna take advantage of you. He's like, oh, what happened to you? As a church mouse, is that like a French saying? Why are you angry? Let Flappen, choose his own way. One is like, has stayed up all night in case Flappen comes back. I mean, I see where you're coming from. Like, hello, I need you guys. Oh, okay. Like, wait, do I really look like Oropo? I thought for me they look completely different, but maybe. No, we don't believe you. I mean, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this stupid shit? After the episodes we've had, I mean, my guess is kind of like, oh, we want to do a little bit of like comedic, like reduce the tension a bit. Like, wait. Who is Sifo? I mean, Hugo, if you can't deal with these guys, how are you going to deal with, you know, an actual threat? Like, Dali, you're. Like, into the ground you go. Can't you see this is Hugo? Like, yes, let's go. Because you understand us, our yop soul. He's like, if only you truly understood the gravity of what's happening, you wouldn't be saying this. He's like, no, you really need to listen to what I'm actually saying. I mean, I understand the enthusiasm, but yeah, he's gone. Oh, okay. Did that happen in the previous episode? I don't remember. He's like, do we really need to bring the children with us? Like, maybe the younger sister. But is that why they introduced in the beginning of this season that little child had gotten one of these creatures? So they can justify bringing him with them now? Probably. Unlimited power. Okay, now they are attacking. Look, nope. It is not us. Well, it's not the Heliotrops. It's the Necros. Brakmar. There we go. Are we actually going to see these guys like actually destroy a place? No, we're not. Okay. Okay, so is that why they look like that? They are former Sadidas. It's like, if there are such weaklings, do we need several waves? I guess the reason why you do wave assaults is in case you run into something you didn't expect, so you don't lose everything. And you can keep the pressure up like all the time, because if you send everyone in at once, you get tired and then you can't keep the pressure up. He's like, no, I don't feel emotions. Other than hunger. Well, you knew this. You knew they would come back. Yeah, like, come on. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's a good, like, to tell her. Like, if things go wrong, just flee. Fuck these people. Fuck this that he does. you have some help from the Eliotropes. So now Armand actually be a proactive king. Lead your people. Because what they're gonna need is courage. Oh yeah, she's suffering from PTSD. And then what? You're like, well, you're the one who brought them here, alright? Fuck you. Calling me a fool. It's your mistakes that have brought us to this point. Even though I do think this is a pretty bad episode. Like, the wrong way. Long time no see. Like, oh, you've finally grown up. Okay. I was like, let's hide. I don't want your girlfriend to see you. She joined the enemy. Are they here to help? I mean, the Eliotop goddess is pretty adamant in the fact that she doesn't want to help. I think I think I know them enough. And so what do you think? I mean, do you really think if we escape, you think they're not gonna follow? At least if we fight here, we're not fighting alone. Good. Good on you, Hugo. Like, choosing my own way. Nice. Good job. They're like, yeah, fuck these guys. We understand that, you know, There is no going back. Okay, we run away. It doesn't mean anything. It's just delaying our doom. But I'm leaving. Alright, and what are you doing? Are you gonna give them some power? Okay, setting up a bit of like a protective bubble. So when they win, I hope they don't accept her back. Even though what I think is gonna happen, I'm calling it now, she's gonna come back at the very end. But I kind of hope she doesn't. And I kind of hope that, yeah, they manage to push back the Necros. Then when she comes back, they're like, fuck you. We're not gonna worship you. You know, like, fuck you, get the fuck out of here. But overall, this episode has been terrible, pretty boring. It feels like, I understand this is like a setup episode. It is a very like drawn out setup episode. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I mean, are we going to get something good happening next episode? We didn't even get to see what happened to Brakmar. This episode would have been so much better if just skip the beginning parts with Hugo. You can just have Hugo be like, oh, I'm gonna go get my friends. And then show Brakmar fall to the Necros. And then do the second part of this episode after that. So the first part of this episode should be Brakmar falling. We kind of need to see the Necros actually win and actually destroy a place. Because obviously they're implying that, the Necros... I don't know, did they imply that the Necros destroyed the place? Or did they just imply that, the king just went there to just scout and then he left? Who knows? So why didn't they... I don't know, like... It's terrible. They should have made it so that, yeah, Brakmar is now destroyed. And we saw it in the beginning. And then the left is setting up for the Sadida invasion, which is like a place that we actually care about because we've seen it in the show. Instead, we got nothing.